Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and welcome back to the Red Estate. So we're going to be taking out some of our lower level guys this time, and I think the mission that we're going to do it on is this long exterminate. We don't do a lot of long missions, so provisioning is going to be really important here. A little bit worried that I'm not quite tuned for the long missions and the pace of them, but we're going to have to see how things go. I do like the Berserk Charm. I have one already, and that 15% damage increase is quite nice. The stress and virtue chance reductions, I don't really run into problems with that too much, so all in all, I think it's pretty decent. For the party we're going to take out, I really love this party name. Wine, Women, Song. So, we've got our song, got our women. Is he the one bringing the wine? Is that what's going on? Our highwayman's a little tipsy all the time. We may see. I think I've got skills and trinkets and everything all taken care of. Like I said, I think provisioning is going to be of supreme importance. The bare minimum I could see taking would be 2 full stacks of food for 2 campfires plus any hunger we might run into. But I'm going to go all out on this one. And we're going to end up taking 4 full stacks of food, 4 torches, or sorry, 4 shovels, and then like, 8 and 7 will be fine. Then we are heading into the Warrens, so very useful comment recently. So for the Warrens, I'm worried about disease and bleed. So with that in mind, I'm thinking that's worthwhile. Maybe like 2 of those, 1 of those, and 1 of those just for some trinket or curio interactions rather. That should be a-okay. Now, we're getting pretty low on gold reserves, so I'm really counting on this mission to turn out all right. The party's a little bit interesting, right? We don't have a traditional like tank, damage dealing kind of characters. Like we don't have our man-at-arms, our leper, our crusader, anybody like that. We're relying a little bit more on finesse, which might mean we're relying a little bit more on the RNG to be nice to us. That's, of course, tempting fate.
They breed quickly down there in the dark, but perhaps we can slay them even faster.
You know, in characters that don't have traditionally a lot of HP, but are instead relying on higher dodge stats, right? Like they're counting on a lot of misses coming their way versus just being able to take it and slowly gauge how your health is doing. Since we are doing 100% of room battles, we basically gotta visit every room.
These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
Alrighty. And a pretty calm hallway, all things considered. We brought plenty of torches, so we'll be trying to keep our torchlight up. Also, we should have pretty decent scouting chances, and traps are like no big deal, even a tiny bit. I could consider camping like right away, but I think what I'd like to do is wait for the very first moment that a campfire would do us any good from a healing standpoint, and then have it allow us to get the full bonus from the food that we're going to consume, and then gain the buffs to kind of ease the rest of the dungeon. We're also going to be looking for some curios to allow our inventory space to get cleaned up a bit, as we do have a ton of provisioning with us. Hopefully this gives us an opportunity to use up that key right away. And our first test of whether or not we're going to be dodging well goes about as well as you would expect it to. Alright, should be stunned a little bit easier. Not the worst thing in the world, right? You know, I'm thinking right off the bat, we'll go for the long-term benefit off of a party buff, and then going forward he could start doing a little bit more damage. I actually love that they repositioned, as I don't think I could have killed him. I don't think I could have killed the Swine Chopper here with a single shot. Man, he is so beefy. But he has terrible stun resist, so that should be pretty easy to do. And then we don't really need any healing yet, so we'll go ahead and judgment for the wretch, but we'll miss it. Okay. Another vomit. Another disease? No? Alright. At least that's something. Alright, let's go ahead and see if we can't do a little bit more damage to this guy. Open vein. Nice. I did I put a bleed trinket on him, which is, you know, maybe an interesting choice. But he does have a bleed skill.
A faint hope blossoms.
And it's not really his focus, but I'm thinking like maybe we could make it his focus, and that might work out okay. It's actually, man, Lindsay, you're, you know, these are probably not good trinkets for her. I think I actually put them on her from a dungeon where I was just trying to bring back some more inventory space, and I never really cleaned that all up. Oh well. This should do it. That'll be enough bleed to take him out on his next action, so that should be fine. That means that any of his attacks are kind of pointless, so we'll instead just do another buff, and then decent enough dodging. He'll be dead. Lovely.
Perhaps
and then Badri will be able to throw a dagger into his heart. Down to 7. Throw another dagger into his heart. Oh, couldn't quite get it done, though. Oh, well. We've always got our highwayman to finish the job, except he can't hit that far back. Oh, that's terrible. Alright, well, that's fine. That's totally fine. I guess we'll just randomly destroy a corpse. He'll get into position for next time, and maybe, just maybe, Quincy can finally hit something. Yeah, she does have a minus to accuracy. Oh, big minuses to accuracy, actually. That's kind of terrible. I think we're gonna let the first crest go. Does that make sense? Yeah, we should have plenty of time for grabbing more heirlooms later on. Chest, hopefully there is a secret compartment. Indeed there is.
Laden
Awesome.
with loot are often low on supplies.
And again, that great scouting chance for us. Ooh, so many good curios up here. You know, I was thinking about going this way first, but instead we could go up here, do a little jaunt off to the side, and then come back. We'll only have to backtrack 1. Then we could go over and like down. We can skip that room because we know there's not a room battle. Come down to here and here. Let's go ahead and try that. We'll head north for now. And not the greatest of hallway fights, truth be told. All right, you can harvest right away. That was big. I'm loving that. Okay. You know what? Instead of starting with a point-blank shot, he's at 4, he's at 8. I'm going to go ahead and get him out of the fight before he's even able to act a single time. I think that'll be good. And then, let's go ahead and Divine Comfort. Everybody's missing just a couple of HP. We are doing pretty decently from a tanking standpoint. We've managed to get the dodges when they really mattered. So that's quite nice. Again, this guy is super easy to stun. Yeah, I'm digging this. Okay, so we can still harvest from here. You can also slice off, which should be enough to get him out of this fight before he gets to take a second action. Lovely. We can finally do a point-blank shot on him. And then... oh, couldn't do it. Alright. He doesn't really have that good of blight resist. That was just kind of a poor roll, I suppose.
The bigger the beast, the greater the
We're
glory.
doing a pretty decent job of just disabling the enemy prior to them being able to get off a lot of attacks. I think, what did we see? Like, he only got to attack once. He's been able to attack once. Is that it? Like, 2 attacks incoming that entire fight. I am totally digging that. You know what? Let's go ahead and move him or her up just for, well, just for it won't matter. But I was trying to get the Jester out of the front rank, as he wouldn't have been able to really do anything from there.
The sharpened blade.
You know, this is far better for her. You know what? Move resist, accuracy, crit accuracy. Let's trade that. Then, take all. We'd have to give up crest and gold. I don't like the idea of giving up gold. I like gold so much, though. Let's see. That's giving me 500. You know, that's not worth as much as a stack of gold, right? Like, it can only stack 4. That would only be 1,000. So this is worth more from the space perspective. I think everything is more important than crests right now, so I'm going to go ahead and make that decision. Maybe not the right one, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Got a lovely sack with some more gold already. That is approaching, or already that is worth more than the stack of gems that was in it. Nice map. We're going to get all of our... Oh, it was a full scout. Oh my god. So, right now, the only rooms we don't have scouted are this one and this one. The very bottom, the very top. We need to go here to check. We need to fight here. We need to go here. Man, the scouting is super valuable in all of this. We do get into a fight here. Okay, so these can have fights in them. Right. These must have fights in them. And these are chests. I still don't completely understand. I mean, these are going to be chests, I think. Like these two gold ones. These are just going to be curios of some type in them. Okay. I think I get it. Ooh, 27. I'm sure there is somebody right now screaming at their computer monitor for me still not understanding exactly how the map works. I kind of wish there was just like a map legend somewhere that I could go look at that would write it all out for me. But, you know, you can't always get what you want, right? Let's see. We could kill you. Let's do you. These two guys are both going to bleed a bit, and then that's going to mean they never get a second action. They are going to get a first. Alright, he dodged one of them. And he's only taking 3 damage from that. That's actually pretty decent. I don't have a lot of self-buffs to do. This gives her a dodge buff. But, meh. I mean, not really the most amazing thing in the world. I think I'm just going to let him kind of suffer from that for right now. You know what? Ugh. I was going to say, we'll try for maybe the crit and getting a little stress resist. Didn't do it.
These nightmarish creatures can
and again, we're leaving behind the crest. Alright, now, the bone altar. Strange power can be felt in its presence. This is probably a mistake. It was a mistake. Just going to try interacting with it. Infused with great power. Ooh, that is great power. And thankfully, it did not come with a need for great responsibility, so I'm totally okay there. Oh, yep. Not gonna let me use anything. All right, fair enough. I do remember what this does. I think. Pretty sure this is remove negative. Tippler, Pseudomania, Slow Draw would be wonderful to get rid of. Also, you are in a terrible way. Let's have Thoan go ahead and check this one out, and he'll burn the scrolls. It takes a weight off the hero, and he is no longer a bad gambler, as one of his risks finally pays off. Okay. Alright, simple enough fight. Oh, we surprised them. You guys don't have a chance.
With impunity.
Even a little bit. Go ahead and slice off here. Crit for 8. Wonderful. You're going to bleed out before you even know what happened. You know what? Let's go ahead and fill him back up. Crit for 9. Lovely. And then We'll just shadow fade. Wasn't really trying to stun him there. It didn't really matter what I did. He's gonna die anyway. Alright.
A trifling victory.
Nice.
But a victory nonetheless.
I guess it was a little bit of a trifling victory, right? I mean, that wasn't really that big of a challenge after all. Let's go ahead and head down here. I still haven't needed to camp yet. I don't think it's been really a huge deal, and doing so now would lose him those buffs. So for now at least, I think we're gonna keep pushing forward and worry about camping once like characters have stress to get rid of or something. So far I'm totally digging this long dungeon crawl. It is all of my worries have vanished. I was concerned about not being very well tuned for how the pacing of a long dungeon might go, burning through my resources too quickly, etc., etc. That hasn't really come into play. Not even a tiny bit. We'll go ahead and check this out. We have the space for it, and then we can use a torch right before we step into this room. Nice. We might end up getting rid of a torch before we exit this room. Alright, here. Let's go ahead and we'll get some bleed inflicted on these guys, or this guy, at the very least. You know, you're not a full-fledged member of the party till you get vomited on. Very few people know that, but it's the initiation for the Red Estate. A pig man has to vomit in your face. I know it's a little weird. It's not exactly Greek Rush Week, but it is something. 8-2, he is out of this. Awesome. And equally awesome. Jesus. I was ever worried that this party might struggle down here, as they are not super traditional in their abilities. That was the silliest thing I could have ever been worried about, apparently. Why did I do that? I wanted him to be able to do his little leap forward next turn, as hitting this third-rank guy was otherwise going to be a little bit of a nuisance. And now he's going to be in the second rank, making me look real silly. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. All my decisions are the right decision right now. Yes, that is what overconfidence sounds like.
This expedition at least promises success.
Yeah, it does. We'll go ahead and get rid of that.
The way is lit.
In order to grab an onyx.
Is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Still ditching crests. Not always feeling good about it. But I think it's the best decision for right now. An heirloom chest. It was trapped. Oh, she got blighted. That's actually a pretty terrible blight. Okay, and then we'll just get out of here. So we could maybe use a few more keys when we're coming down to the Warrens. It's not completely barren of keys. We've got chests to worry about. Duly noted. I've seen people make charts before of like, how many different heirlooms do you need in each thing? The few I've seen, I don't think were super accurate. Like, they didn't quite jive with my opinion of the strategy, but I might consider making my own eventually. I have finally learned not to pour holy water on these things. That does no one any good. I'm thinking she's going to check it out. I don't have any holy water anyway. And instead, I just got loot.
Finding the stuff is only the first test.
Oh, I can torch.
Must be carried home.
Not enough space for really anything. Gonna go ahead and leave it behind. Alright, and then we'll get into here. Haven't needed any of this food either. Man, I brought so many provisions down here. And so far, I mean, if you've got to complain about something, the thing you want to be complaining about is most definitely going to be, oh, I didn't need all of the stuff I brought. Woe is me. Versus, oh my god, I should have brought way more stuff, right? Like, that's going to be, of the two scenarios possible there, probably preferable. Absolute best case scenario is, hallelujah, I brought exactly the amount of stuff I needed. But that's probably going to be a little bit rare, just a tad. 7, 10, You know what? This can do 3 to 8, 4 to 9. Gets him down to 3, which isn't quite enough. But the Jester can make sure that he doesn't live much longer. In the meantime, this could do 3 to 8. 7 is decent. Yeah, everybody's had their face vomited in. I'm totally sure of that by now. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get him out of this game. Ah, man. I wanted my Jester to act first so that did not happen, but I guess it wouldn't have really mattered. Judgment. She'll get the heal out of it. Everything turns up. Roses and... dodged. Okay. Not the worst dodge. He paid for it, though, by getting his face vomited in. Are getting a little bit high on stress on a couple of the characters. I wish that was a little bit more evenly spread so that the camp made more sense.
Beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Sapphire is definitely worth grabbing. So, we're going to go ahead and drop our anti-venom for that. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Then we'll go ahead and get rid of that. And then we might just camp to clear the inventory space. We've got so much food right now. We can ignore all of this. We need to get down to here again. So we could go straight down, over, and then maybe we have to go here, and then that could be the end of it. It could be actually end here, or maybe even here. I'm not sure if that's guaranteed to have enemies in it with the little gold symbol. Let's go ahead and pop a firewood here.
A spark without kindling is a goal without hope.
And we'll eat a ton just to basically get rid of the food at this point. He has got some amazing de-stressing abilities. Like that. And that. And now we're down to 3 and 11. Everyone is fully healed. We can accuracy and dodge. Let's let him go ahead and clean his guns. Then we don't really need the improved scouting chance. Improved scouting chance until next camp by 30. Is that just as good? Yeah, it's like exactly the same skill. Okay. We could also bandit sense in order to get the potential for more surprise. I don't really think it's needed though. We'll just buff his accuracy and dodge up a little bit. And then with only one, it's the only skill we have left. She doesn't... Does she have any diseases? She has spotted fever. A little sniff makes the day just that much better. Can't argue the logic there. It did, in fact, get rid of her spotted fever. Awesome. That's worth like 550 gold or something on her right now to visit the sanitarium. Yeah, we are blessed right now, guys. Not gonna lie. Makeshift dining table. Let's purify our dining experience a little bit. Get some more food and another torch. Things that we have not really needed in the grand scheme of things. Alright, and then we'll start heading south towards a definite fight. We're going to have a hallway battle followed immediately by a room battle. Also got a dinner cart here. We'll purify that a bit.
Glittering
so
gold,
much food. Oh my god.
Baubles,
we can't even take all of the food. We go ahead. I mean, do we need to do that? We could start another gold stack. I'd say it's worth it for grabbing the extra food. It was only 100 gold. Hopefully we'll have use of that. Maybe like after this fight we could spend a little bit on healing our guys, but then again, maybe they won't even get to act before the fight's over. Which is exactly what happened. Yeah. Okay. Immovable dungeon, meet the unstoppable force. I like emeralds. I really do. You know what? We are not going to need these shovels, truth be told. But at the same time, we're not going to need that food. Let's just do that. On the chance that we get a... Oh man, 2 occult scrawlings in a row. Alright, not pouring holy water on anything. Too much to bear. We picked up some stress. I believe this is just one where, like, don't use anything to interact with it, and sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's bad. Meh, it's not really the worst thing in the world.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
I don't really need any lifting of spirits right now. I'm pretty spirit lifted, all things considered. We are just killing it, man. You've been undodged. Being undodged is not great. Although in the setup that this like opposing party has, they really can't take advantage of that. The minus dodge chance is kind of contingent on then having characters that hit really hard. They don't really have any of those characters, so yeah, they're just sort of a party filled with support classes, the stressors and that sort of thing. So not gonna be the most advantageous thing for them. More vomit, picking up a bit of stress. Not really great, but basically the only thing I had to do there. Yeah, she took just a tiny bit of damage.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Oh man, I would love that gold stack. We're just gonna start throwing out food. We are horribly over-provisioned for what is going on down here. Yeah, I guess we'll just toss the food. It's kind of a weird decision to be making. We do need one more shovel. Okay, glad I didn't throw them. I knew I had scouted maybe this path, and I knew it needed a shovel, but I hadn't scouted this path to know that it was going to need a shovel. Alright, we'll have another hallway fight, followed by a room. I'm just going to start popping torches left, right, and center. We're surprising him, because he's got a totally awesome chance to do that all the time. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Pigman. You never had a chance. You didn't know what was coming for you. But it was just a terrible assortment of enemies. He's down to 3. Next turn. Who gets to go first? We gets to go first. Imagine the little swine man. Here he is, wandering the tunnels of the Warrens with his 3 friends, when suddenly they come upon a band of humans. They're curious, of course. Maybe they've never met humans before. And then, before the surprise and shock of the situation can wear off, his 3 friends are all piles of bone and he is now facing them all alone. I gotta feel a little bit sorry. He had a very bad day that day, is basically what occurred. Unfortunately, he's gonna live another turn. If we are managing to stack up quite a bit of stress on her, we still have the ability to camp though, so like it doesn't matter, I think. Basically, light skill and max HP. That's gonna be worth more than a lot of things. Like medicinal herbs? Just in case we run into something that could bleed us. We'll hold on to the bandages for now. Oh my god. So I think I'm gonna camp like once I'm done with the mission, just to de-stress everybody, make sure they all leave the dungeon rip-raring to go for another outing.
A devastating
Oh my
blow.
god. no bleeds, which is a little unfortunate. They have like 60% bleed resist, so they don't have the greatest chance in the world of doing that. I can't really complain there. Just have her take a shot at the back line. Drums of Doom. Yeah, I don't feel real particularly doomy right now. I'm sorry if that was your goal, was to bum me out, man, but you can't harsh this mellow. It's just not possible. Man, it's down to 4. Can't hit with Louvet, but another drumming. Okay, marked at 55. But Quincy here is easily gonna crush that guy with a 13 on the crit. Oh my god. What can I take? I can take that. Okay. Again, the trinket is going to be valuable. If only from a gold perspective, I should be nabbing those. I think we'll leave the rest of the stuff behind. And then pop a torch. Check out a chest. It was trapped. It bled us. We don't even care. Oh my god. You can't cramp my style, dungeon. Finally, we run into some hunger. See, like, that was the thing that, you know, potentially we could have run into 5 hungers.
Must rely on
oh, I'm an idiot. I didn't click on the shovel. Okay. That's what happens when you get complacent, kids.
A blazing star is born.
And you totally forget what you're doing because you're talking to an imaginary audience that will be listening to this hours from now. Oh, alright. Let's... 9 to 18. Oh my god. I was considering, like, is this worth it? It can't really get the kill. Yeah, no, I mean, it could really get the kill. Please stay below 100. That would really be a damper on my style for all this. Unless you want to become virtuous. I mean, that would be okay. Ugh, suddenly the dodges are coming out in full force. Except that time. Down to 4. Okay. He should be able to ensure that the swine doesn't harm us anymore. She is still going to be alive, though. We've not managed to catch the acolyte at all. Alright, a rend. Again, the stress is really more concerning.
How quickly the tide turns.
It crit for 2. I mean, it did crit. I can't argue that it was a critical strike. I might be able to argue that it wasn't exactly a devastating critical strike. Oh my god. That's what a crit looks like, guys. For all you occultists out there that were wondering, crits are supposed to be bigger than 2. Oh, can't carry. Food. Can carry. Leave behind. Done. Continue adventure. Alrighty then. We're gonna go ahead and make camp. We'll feast.
Gathered close in tenuous firelight and uneasy companionship.
We will again allow him to play a couple of songs. Gets her down to 27 and him to 47. Let's see. She could do a chant to reduce stress further. He just has wound care. And she has stress resist. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and let her do her chant. Could heal just a little bit of the stress. Down by 5. Okay. We're going to probably end up putting him into some kind of stress resistance or stress removal back in town anyway. Nothing else really matters. Just in case we were to, like, get surprised or something, I guess. Here to the road. None shall surprise us. And then we'll go ahead We don't actually even need to rest there. Never mind. There's no reason to even risk getting ambushed in the night.
Confidence is shaken.
My confidence would be shaken if I was them too. The experience was great. This is probably a little deceptive due to the number of trinkets that I decided to grab, because they were worth more than the corresponding stuffs that we could have had. That won't really pay off until I can get back in town and sell them off. Fated. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, he's not really the guy we want to be fighting skellies with, considering they don't bleed very easily. Everybody is like 1 or 2 resolve XP away from their next level. All in all, pretty decent haul from everything. Let's see what's going on down here. So I did spend a ton of gold on sanitariums, getting a lot of our higher level guys kind of back into tip-top fighting shape. Managed to luck out and remove both of his diseases. Totally digging that. Vipont brought more out of a night of debauchery than memories only. His bad humors has been replaced by syphilis. Oh, man. But Vipont... See, okay. So Vipont here has a love interest and will only go to the brothel for his stress relief. But his love interest gave him syphilis. Which, I hate to break it to you, man, but I think she's been stepping out on you. I'm sorry. I'm sure you're devastated. Sorting by stress. This is a pretty awesome outlook for things. He is a tippler. I think he'll be a-okay drinking his worries away, though. And Baudry, she could join him. Why not? They'll both have a night out, swapping stories and knocking one's back. All right, then. That went pretty well. I'm totally okay with how that played out. I hope you guys enjoyed it too, and if you did, feel free to subscribe for more videos every single day. Leave a like or a comment if you have anything to say about this or any of my other episodes, and I will catch you guys next time.